welcome back to my channel. It is Sarah of Sarah is Booked, and we have a special guest named Gizzy today. He's right here at my feet. He thinks if I kneel on the floor that obviously we need to be hanging out. Anyway, it is time for the TBR jar to pick out our April reads, and March kind of went by, and these were my reads for March. This is what I picked out last month with you guys. And of these 5 books, I read, not that one, I read Jet Setters, and I read Shatter Me. I say probably both of them got a 3-star, probably. Didn't get to these 3, and unfortunately they're going back on the TBR shelf. The other 2, I am not a keeper of books. If I like the book and it's mom appropriate, I take it to my mom. If it wasn't really my favorite, I don't think my mom would like it, I take it to a little free library. Because I just don't, one day I'll have a room for all the books in the world, but today is not that day. I also switched out my red Solo cup from March, and I have a TBR bowl. And then I also typed out all of my prompts because my handwritten ones were a little difficult to read last month. So I am going to read 6. I'm going to have 6 books on my TBR. Hopefully I read them all. I'm going to choose 5 from the TBR jar today, and then the one that's automatically going to go on the list is Stephen King. I am reading through all of his novels from start to finish. It's probably going to take me like 10 years. January I read Carrie, his first book. February I read Salem's Lot. It's time for The Shining. So I did read that previously, but I'm gonna read it again because start to finish. So that's book number 1. So the 5 books coming from this, we're gonna start with this one, and like I said, I typed them out, so hopefully, oh, I like this animal on the cover. I figured out that I really love the prompts that are kind of just based on the cover of the book. I'm not the best. I think a lot of people that do these videos already know what all their books are about. I'm not that great at it. And so doing it based on like the cover really makes me happy. So we are looking for any kind of animal. I know a couple that have birds. I would like to find one with maybe like a dog, or a cat. I don't know why I'm looking. I think maybe like my best bet for an animal would be just like general lit fic, right? Okay, Beartown has bear in the title. Oh, there is a bear. Okay, there's a bear on Beartown. That makes sense. That makes sense. So that's a great choice. Also a book I really want to read. One Golden Summer. Do you have? No. The Summer of Broken Rules. No. Maybe the novel, a novel love story. Nope, just People and Flowers. Now, Dear Edward, one that we talked about last month. I really love the look of this book. I've heard it's amazing, just based on TikTok. I don't think I know anybody in my personal life that's read it. But there's birds all over this. For some reason, when it says animal on the cover, I kind of go towards like mammal, but that is an animal. Oh, this one has horse in the title, but there's no actual horse. Half-bred horses? Half-broke horses? There's no actual horses in the picture. The Farmer's Daughter. Also, no animals. The Whole Town's Talking by Fannie Flagg. There's 2 birds right there. None. What about that one from last month The all-girl filling station's last reunion. Nope, none. There is, hang on. Hunger Games. I mean, does that count? The Mockingjay? A lot of birds. I was really hoping for a dog. Do I not have dog? Ooh. Nope, not on the cover. The last one I looked at is The Love Story of Missy Carmichael. I have no idea what this is about. We had a little, like a book exchange with my in-person book club, and everybody was supposed to bring books they've already read, and that is what one of my people brought, and she said she really loved it. So, The Love Story of Missy Carmichael, I'm just gonna go ahead and choose that because I was hoping for a dog. It's got a dog. We're not even gonna have like that moment where we try to talk about something else. Okay. Book number 2. Book that has been made into a movie. Okay, so we've got Hunger Games, which I've read that. It would be a reread, but I do want to reread it because I want to read Songbird of Snakes or whatever. Here's the deal. I have got, my mom was moving and she gave me her John Grisham books. I'm not sure about Litigators. I actually don't think that's been made into a movie, but I know for sure The Firm and The Time to Kill have been made into a movie. I kind of got a lot going on in my life that's don't want to talk about it a ton, but not the happiest thing. I've got like sick family members and stuff, and I already know, because if you've seen this movie, A Time to Kill, fabulous movie, but very, very, very dark subject matter, and that might be a book for a month when I am have the bandwidth to handle that kind of thing. I'm gonna pick The Firm. I've seen the movie technically. I don't love Tom Cruise, so I decided I didn't like it, but I have a feeling I might actually love the book because I have loved a lot of John Grisham books. So there's number 2, The Firm. All right, so I'm not looking. Ooh, a book over 400 pages. I actually was looking through my books just the other day and kind of getting a feel for that. And I happen to know from Luke Off with Love is over 500 pages. I'm going to look at this Unsheltered with Robert Kingsolver. 411. And Things We Never Got Over. Hang on a second. Choosing all these little books. This one has 408. I did a soft DNF on this book. This is called Cypress Point. It's by this is my favorite author, Diane Chamberlain. I love her. If you haven't read any of hers, read her. A little bit less known author, has some fabulous stuff. Really, really fabulous. She kind of mixes history, like a historical fiction, with a modern day story. She kind of goes back and forth between the two. This one in particular was a story about this couple that was in a cult and like living in a commune, and something like went down, and there was a lady that was like a healer in the commune, and later in life, this child that was born into this commune that had kind of a weird life seeks out that healer to get some answers for herself. I'm going to pick this because I liked it. I was just, I had too many books going at the time. I had no reason to DNF it other than other books that like I needed to read for book club and stuff got put in its place. So that will be book number 3. I'm very, very heavy on just like general fiction. I'm hoping maybe I get like a thriller or a romance. I also have Razorblade Tears from the library that also was a little bit of a DNF because I was listening to it and I didn't like the audio. So I got it from the library. I would love to factor that in. Okay, number 4. You know, when you only read 2 out of 5 of your books the very next month, this is like, I just had a 400-page book, and then here's this, the longest book on the shelf. So I don't read romantasy, and those are like the big gun books, right? I would love to read romantasy. My brain just doesn't get into the book like it should. I would love to. I would love to be one of those people that just reads these gigantic books and just is so engrossed in them that they read like a 700-page book in 2 days. I would love to be that, but I'm not. I'm just not. I think it's going to be one of these guys. So let's see. From Luke Off with Love has 520. Unsheltered has 459, so you get to go back on the shelf. And then Things We Never Got Over. This is a mixed bag. People either love it or hate it, it seems like. It is a big chunker book for a romance. 547. I think Things We Never Got Over. That's our girl. Let's put this little guy up here. I was kind of wanting to Look Off with Love. It reminds me of that movie, The Cutting Edge. If you're a mid-40s girl like me, you watched that movie a lot. Okay. Oh, speaking of, a book with a 40-plus-year-old protagonist. I think my best bet is one of these Fanny Flagg books, because it's usually like an older person tied into, like, it's usually about like a town, like in Fried Green Tomatoes, Idgy, and then the lady that, I can't even remember her name from the book, but she's played by Kathy Bates in the movie. Anyway, she's 40. Actually, you know, she seems so old in the book. I mean, she seems so old in the movie, and I found out she was 43. Like, Kathy Bates in Fried Green Tomatoes was younger than I am. Anyway, okay. This has to do with a mail order bride, so that would think that would be a young gal. We usually don't do mail order brides on the older gals. I had one more Fanny Flagg book. It was the one that was on. Oh, here we go. The Whole Town's Talking. No, that's literally the book I just looked at. This was on March's TBR, and I never got to it, and I was sad I didn't, because I love me some Fanny Flagg. This is called The All Girls Filling Station Last Reunion, and it is about Mrs. Suki Poole that's just married off the last of her 3 daughters. So Avi, she's going to be older than 40, right? Unless she had very, very young pregnancies. So we have got our 5 books. Now remember, I'm actually doing 6 because I am reading The Shining. We've got I can never get this correct, The All-Girl Filling Station's Last Reunion by Fanny Flagg. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Maybe by the time I read it, I'll get that ugly sticker off of there. Cypress Point by Diane Chamberlain. The Firm by John Grisham, and this is getting one of the old ones off of the TBR shelf. I would really enjoy that. And then this one was given to me by a book club member, The Love Story of Missy Carmichael, and it was the one that needed to have an animal on the cover, and it had a dog. So thanks for joining me today. I look forward to reading these books. I'm going to vow right this very minute that I'm going to do better in April than I did in March, so that I am a good little booktuber. And I just thank everybody who watched my last few videos. Anybody that's made it to the end of this video, I thank you so much for being here. And go ahead and like and subscribe and leave me a comment and tell me if I mentioned any books that you would like me to read in the future. Thanks for being here.